Special Fute Papo live from Miami and right here with us, this fierce one, Lenny. How are you, my friend? How are you doing? All good?
The guy who brought the most joy to the tricolor fans at Palmeiras, always running like crazy, scoring tons of goals, causing chaos, making things wild. And now you're international, man. Are you living here now, Lenny?
Yeah, I've been living here. It's been 6 years now, as of March. I didn't think of anything else. Wonderful, man. I'm here. I'm in Rio de Janeiro and in America. No,
I was looking. This isn't Flamengo's land. It's not Flamengo Beach. No, man, it's Miami Beach.
if it were, you would have put your phone down.
I couldn't miss coming, and the camera had already left too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
How did it happen, man? How did you make that transition? You played, your last team was in Thailand, man. You've been around too, huh? Let me tell you.
You have to make money, right? What matters is saving it. That's what I always say. Many people made more money and played in more places than I did, but what really matters is how much you saved. True. You get what I mean? I never drank, never. I never liked it. I like going out and all, but I never drank, never bought a bottle service in my life, VIP box, those kinds of things where you end up spending a lot of money. So I had a certain awareness, but I didn't have the mindset I have today about investing and all that. Yeah, I invested in bars and snack shops and all that.
You didn't even drink, man, and you went and opened a bar, man.
So it didn't work out. It didn't work out. Actually, I bought it. The bar was already set up. Yeah, it sold a lot. There were a lot of people and all, but I had no know-how. I didn't understand the logistics. I thought that just because it was packed, I was making money. And it's not really like that. It's way more complicated than that. Mine was in Jacarepaguá. I was just mentioning it. No,
Julio at the end?
man, I fell asleep and missed two. That's it. Not now.
Let's talk about victories now. You mentioned the defeat. Let's talk about victory. In Miami, if you need a car, any car, you call Zambolheni. Is that right?
No, here in Miami, things worked out. We have to hit rock bottom first so we can rise later, man. You have to know what it's like at the bottom anyway. Yeah. I started in May 2023. It's a car rental company. I started obviously with just 3 cars and all, seeing how it was, studying the market. At least, yeah, instead of diving in head first, instead of having to buy 3 businesses at once, I bought 3 cars. If it doesn't work out, you sell them, everything's fine, you just break even. But anyway, today there are 30 to 35 cars in the fleet, thank God, all owned by me, no investors, nothing like that.
There are a lot of players at the Cup who are driving with Muito's car.
Muito.
I saw Wagner Love in a big car at the Cup.
Yeah, Wagner Love, I just bought it. I went to Orlando last week, bought a Wagoneer. It's a luxury SUV, 8 seats. Yeah, so I bought it and it's already going straight to him.
For the whole family.
Okay, he's got a lot of luggage. He was there with Evander, who also plays here, who used to play for Vasco. Yeah, they went on a cruise and everything. He's working here at ESPN now,
I'm safe, right? So if anything happens, it's not your fault.
right? No, it has everything. Then he pays full price. I wash. No, the heel. Love did well. Played on the street, in the square. France. Love has it.
You played a lot too. Did you ever play here?
No, not here, man. Actually, I came here with my knee already destroyed because I have 2 cruciate injuries, 2 collateral, and 1 meniscus, all in my right knee.
I only lasted because they patched me up.
Honestly, man, I'm only standing here. I don't even know how.
We're also going to talk a lot about the beginning of Lenny's career. Is it true that the water in Zerem is really different, Lenny? Because you tasted it, and man, when you showed up, it was crazy, scoring goals and dribbling past everyone from midfield. I wanted you to tell us and remember a little about that transition from Zerem to Fluminense's first team.
Yeah, I arrived. I started at the futsal program at Fluminense, right, in 1996, and then I made the transition to the field in 2001. So I arrived in the 2nd year of the Miriam category. Back then it was like that, first, 2nd year. Nowadays it's under 13, under 12.
It starts already in the parents' womb.
You're already playing and have your own category. Yeah, and then I got there in the 2nd year of the Miriam category, and then I did Miriam Infantile. Then I started getting into the under 15 national team, then under 17, under 18, and so on. But I became a professional really fast. It was from 2001 to 2005 that I was in the professional league.
Was he the coach?
Abel Braga. I made my debut in Fluminense versus Corinthians in Volta Redonda on October 5th, 2005. That Corinthians team had Tevez, Casalberto, Mascherano, is that all? Roger, Neymar, everyone.
But the Fluminense team was also amazing. It was Petit's team. It was Leandro's team.
Leandro, exactly. That team was the champion of the champion of Rio. And I was about to move up at the end. I had Ulysses, who even gave an interview recently. He was the one who put me in the game. At the time, I was a youth player, and he put me on the junior team. We beat Botafogo 5-2 at Maracanã to eliminate them, and I scored 3 goals. That day, I broke my 5th metatarsal, the first time since having surgery on both.
Because you played like that, you gave it your all, right? You played like crazy.
And people would also hit him hard.
Yeah. Did you already know he was the best player in Pará and had talent?
That's how it was. I got beaten up a lot, obviously, but if I say that my injuries were from getting hit, both of my foot injuries, I have a screw in each foot, were actually stress fractures. And the knee injuries, those happen during plays, like kind of like how Neymar got injured now, or Renato. Usually knee injuries happen on their own, or sometimes it's just a small bump, you know? That's how it was for me. I have two in each foot, but also at least 5 knee injuries, which honestly would take down anyone's conditioning.
Right? Because you're doing well, man.
Thank God, I take care of myself. I'm 88 years old today. Crazier than me. No, like I'm old. Yeah, like Edmundo says, man, you're like a dealership car. I say, why? Looks nice outside, but rotten inside. Rotten just like a dealership car. The car looks perfect at the agency, but the inside tells a different story.
What do you do here in Miami? Play soccer, go for a run, lift weights? What's your life like here?
I play soccer when I can, but during the World Cup, I get too distracted to do anything, even though I did play. It's Ronaldo's friends versus Romario's friends here.
Saw it at the party.
Showball, right? Awesome. Nowadays, there have been a lot of Legends games, right? I went to Puerto Rico, then met Ronaldinho, and now I'm in Toronto. Here in the US, it's
They always call you.
always, because for better or worse, obviously the group that lives here is much smaller. There are some guys, former players, who live in Orlando. So every now and then I go there because I rent my cars in Miami and Fort Lauderdale in Orlando. So I go to Orlando a lot, and there are some guys there. There are at least about 15 former players there.
Another name, Renato Abreu. I know he's in Orlando.
Renato Abreu, well, he doesn't play in that pickup game there, but there are some well-known guys like Rivaldo, Emerson, Renato Abreu, and Fabricio, the one with the finger, Fabricio, the middle finger.
Fabrício, middle finger.
Nilton is around here too. Nilton is there now as well. Bruninho, the fullback who played for Fluminense in Sao Paulo.
Then you can put together a team.
Diego Souza has a house there. He always comes and gets a car with me too, but he doesn't live there. Diego Souza has a house there. Leo Lima used to live there. He just came back. Now he's working at Vasco. That's it. Anyway, there's Williams, the midfielder. No, but there are many like that, including several former players, some of whom aren't well known.
You're special. You come to Miami.
No, I prefer Miami. Miami is like Rio de Janeiro in America, man, because that's what it really feels like. No, doesn't it? It does. Full of life. Totally. It's like, it feels like you're in Rio de Janeiro. You have the beach, you have barbecues, you have hangouts, you have everything. And well, since I'm from Rio, right? So the beach for me, man, Orlando feels like a dry sauna because it's inland. Orlando is kind of like that.
We're suffering here with this scorching sun, right?
It's intense here. Like everyone has 2 suns, especially tough for you without internet.
The messed up tile.
You have to wear a cap, my friend. If you don't, damn, the sun hits hard here. And another thing, we're about to hit July, the end or middle of July. It's even worse.
Even worse, so it's good for us to get out of here soon.
We're leaving soon. Hey, Lenny, let's recall that epic moment. Maybe it wasn't your career highlight, but for Tricolor fans, it certainly was. That amazing goal you scored against Cruzeiro, man, when you just kept going. Remind us of that play.
Yeah, man, I remember. Actually, people only remember that goal. That game was 3-2. I drew the penalty. Pet scored the first goal, and I scored the second and the third. People only remember that goal. Also, the goal you scored.
My brother.
And it was against Fabio. Even today.
But it didn't stop.
Right, stop. He started before me, and he's going to finish. I'll have kids, grandkids, and he'll still be there playing. And he's doing really well, right? Good. He's good.
Yeah, he could be here, right?
So I could too. Last year, there was the Club World Cup here, right? It's like the test event for the Cup. I went to the Fluminense training camp and everything. Yeah, it was still Renato, who was actually my coach when we won the Brazil Cup in 2007. That's cool. And then I met Thiago Silva, who was there. Now he's back, actually. He's coming back. Anyway, and man, Fabio, in the Super World Cup, Fabio was incredible. Like, really, he was amazing, really amazing.
Did you talk to Renati when he saw you?
Man, he was already boarding the bus when I arrived. Marcelo Pena, the vice president of Fluminense, was there too, and Renato was already climbing the steps. Then Marcelo Pena said, Renato, look, Lenny is here. He looked at me and said, no, it can't be. You look so different, I can't believe it. They were already leaving, but he greeted me and invited me to join after the game. Something stopped me from going. They won the game. Fluminense was really impressive in the Super Mundial, right? Yeah, but anyway, then I met Thiago, who I talk to from time to time. He's from my time, but the rest, the whole staff is really from my time. So much so that when I was there, like I went to the club, I went to Zarem. Yeah, no, the guys, the whole staff. Yeah, Kitman, Masur, there's even a Kitman who was from the Fluminense youth team from Zarem. Then he went to the professional team, and now he's with the national team, Nanel.
So you made a lot of friends, right? It was an important time. You ended up talking and talking, but you didn't tell us about the goal. Yeah, the goal. Tell us about the goal.
Did you finish? Man, the goal, if I'm not mistaken, it was from a corner kick. Then the ball goes, then Curlon gets the ball after the corner. He's from Cruzeiro. Curlon Focinha. Yeah, I think he lives in North Carolina or South Carolina, something like that. And then Curlon gets the ball. Then I don't know who steals the ball from him, maybe legally or something like that. Then Marcelo gets it, passes it, I think, to Petkovic over on the other side. Then Petkovic switches the ball to me. I'm deep, right? Because on the counter attack, I was always ahead of the fastest guy. I fall back to midfield. Petkovic switches play with his left foot. I get the ball, and then I'm off. Then I sprint ahead of Luizão, put my body in front of him to shield the ball, and he doesn't foul me. Then I get past Luizão, get past the defensive midfielder. I don't know if his name is Diogo.
Luizão is really solid, okay? Top class defender.
It could have been anyone, right?
This Luizão played with me on the youth national team. Yeah.
I already knew him. He only had his mother.
So I played in front of him, and if I'm not mistaken, he's a defensive midfielder. That's Diogo. I think I went past him too. Then I take it from the left, already cutting to the right to get into a shooting angle. Dresena too. And then Dresena tries to stretch all the way for the ball, and I cut past him. The ball is already roughly on the penalty spot. Tuda asked for it, but that's how it is. Now it's your turn. The goal was open, so I aimed a place shot. I never shot hard. The ball went right into the top corner. And Fabio just watches since he couldn't do much. And then, anyway, it was really a great goal. Oswaldo de Oliveira, who was my coach, he celebrated a lot with me. He shows up a lot in that video. He has an apartment here too. He still talks to me to this day. It's funny, I keep a lot of long-term relationships like that, you know?
Cool, Leandro. That's nice.
I stopped because if there was a pull goal then, which I'm not sure there was, I'd be the first alternate.
That one wouldn't fade. At least I would compete. But there wasn't, right? At that time, unfortunately, there wasn't.
Quick break for a message on Fute Papo, then we'll continue the chat.
Quick break in this international chat here to talk about it. The most requested, the best of the best, Parme, the pizza that has delighted Brazilians for many years. And our partner here since the beginning of Futebol Fute Papo, João Lins.
World Cup vibes call for a good pizza, right, Leandro Osbigo? And we seal the deal with our coupon.
The QR code on the screen gives you 22 Ries off on orders over 80 Ries for delivery.
That's it. Just scan the QR code that's showing up on your screen. You'll go straight to Parme's delivery website. Then you apply the coupon and relax, enjoying the World Cup with the best pizza in the world.
Fute Papo 22, go ahead, order your pizza, enjoy yourself, and be happy.
Let's keep chatting with Lenny. Let's talk about Palmeiras, which was the moment when you had the honor, I think I can say that, of working with Show. What was it like working with Luxemburgo at Palmeiras? That was cool, right?
He must have pushed you and given lots of advice.
What was it like? Man, a lot, really. Man, I had Luxemburgo, Mauricio, and Filipao.
Man, just that, right?
Just that lineup there. Anyway, man, I arrived at Palmeiras when I was 19, right? So I was really young, you know, I came from Portugal. And obviously, just like any young kid, you need a lot of... I always had a strong personality, you know. When you're young, you mess up a lot. It's unavoidable. You mess up a lot, say inappropriate things, make hasty decisions. But obviously, there were also things about Luxemburgo that I also think were wrong anyway. But it was a good time together. We won the São Paulo championship. Yeah, I like him. I think he's a really successful guy and all. I had a little problem with him back then about when he said I was raised by my grandma, and obviously I was, thank God. That's great, right? I have my grandpa and my grandma here. It's a privilege, right? Exactly. I was raised by my grandparents. Actually, I bring my grandpa here often. I've already brought him here, not just here to Miami. I took him to New York, Washington. We've traveled a lot around here. I took him to 7 or 9 countries in Europe as well.
So, you managed to give back all the love, attention, and upbringing they gave you.
Thank God I had my grandparents to raise me like that too. I wasn't raised by my parents, no.
When he said that and you didn't like it?
Man, it's like this. Imagine if someone turns to you and says, hey, you were raised only by your mother, like without your father. I was, but thank God, I'm grateful my mother raised me well since my father wasn't around. He said that's true.
Leandro, remind us of the context if you'd like to discuss it.
No, no problem at all. Actually, I even asked, because people always ask this question. Nobody remembers the context that made him say this. Leandro was raised by his grandparents. Yeah, because usually when someone is raised by their grandparents, people think they're spoiled. And for me, my playing style wasn't about being spoiled because I always took the ball and kept it up. I was fearless. So it's actually the opposite. Yeah, I didn't care much. So nobody remembers the context of the question that made him say that. I know that when it happened back then, and for better or worse, I was really young too. But my point is this. Today, at 38 years old, if I see a kid who was raised by his grandparents or a kid who was raised only by his mother, didn't have a father, for example, I'm not going to harp on that. Because I think, well, actually, you're raised by whoever is there to raise you. If you don't have a father or mother and were raised by an uncle. And if the uncle raised you well, actually, you should be really grateful to that uncle because that uncle did something he didn't even have to do, right? Because I don't have kids. But from the moment I have a kid, man, I have to be there in that kid's daily life. I have to see him. I have to hug him. He has to know where he's going to come back to, what he has, if he needs something, who he's going to look for. So, like, responsibility, we have to take it. If you got a dog, that dog didn't ask for you to buy or adopt it. But from the moment you get that dog, man, you have to treat it extremely well because otherwise you should have let another family do it. Perfect. With a child, maybe it's even worse, right? In this case, it's even more responsibility. Yeah, but anyway, I was raised by my grandparents. Thank God I have a tattoo of them here. So, yeah.
You liked it then.
And then my grandma at the time, she got kind of pissed, right? She was upset. She does, right? My grandpa, not so much, but and then this thing, I don't remember what the context was. And then there was also a game at Angenhão against Botafogo, and he didn't take me. I mean, I was at the game, then he cut me in the locker room, so I just sat there. I didn't go to the prayer with the team. Then he comes pissed off. There's also the game where I got a penalty at Palestra. I was the second top scorer in the Paulista Championship. I got the penalty, and then I went, grabbed the ball. Marquinhos grabbed the ball to take the shot, and I said, no, I'm the one who's going to take it. I grabbed the ball and placed it on the penalty spot, but Luxemburgo ordered Marquinhos to take it instead. All right, the coach gave the order, fine. Marquinhos went, boom, kicked it out. When Marquinhos missed, I just said to him, to Vanderlei, not Marquinhos, the big guy. Man, I was pissed when we got to the locker room. I was about 18 or 19. They told me Marquinhos was 20. At halftime, there wasn't even a pep talk.
Chill Punk, if there's another penalty, he's the one who's going to take it. I'm the one who decides who gets the ball.
Did you hear that? Are you a woman?
Punk, I'm the one who decides, you fucking punk.
Anyway, and
that's why you're good, Caio. You were such a character, you know?
You had
all that attitude.
Right? But today, the guy doesn't talk about when he'll be 8. It's different. The kid, I didn't see that either. But also,
he's kind of wrong, damn.
There were just 20 and 60 championships. I went home after losing and getting a penalty foul.
If you took the ball, you must be confident, right?
Damn, anyway.
That team was tough too, I think. Alex, man, come on.
Alex Mineiro, Valdívia, Alex Mineiro, Kleber the Gladiator, Valdívia, Diego Souza, Leo Lima.
Martinez. It's only top players.
Crazy. Denilson.
How was it to play with Denilson, your show?
Man, it's like this. The guy is a real star, obviously. It's really hard to take the ball from him, you know, in practice. I remember splitting, everything, taking the ball from that guy. It's tough. I fought with him back then. Really? Yeah, I fought. I fought with everyone too. I fought with everyone. But later we started talking again, and today we get along really well. He's a guy who always had really nice things to say to me. I really admire the way he reinvented himself in terms of communication, you know? That's true. He always says he prepared himself and everything. Nowadays, he has a great family with Lucielli, and everyone thought they wouldn't last long. Exactly. They already have 2 kids, both grown up now. So yeah, man, there's a saying, I don't remember who said it, but my boy says this a lot. Hey, young people, grow old. Obviously, we change a lot, right?
But we can say that you were a guy who lived football intensely, right?
So many stories to...
Man, I lived not just football, man, life itself. Like, thank God, I went up, I went down, I came from Vila da Pena, and today, thank God, I live here in Miami Yeah, I have a really cool company. Like, people look for me a lot, yeah. Those who know me because I played, and those who don't know me, they come too. Recommended because I've never advertised. People come because of the great service.
What to do, brother? Then we would have had to get the car with you.
Once in Miami, just send it straight. That's it, right?
Man, of course, direct. Remember, guys, that's it. But so I lived, thank God, intensely this thing about, I have a phrase like that. It's live. Let's go. Keep going. It's just that there's a dog park here and a lot of dogs pass by. He used to come here, go over there, or else I'm going, man.
He passed by, bro.
My brother, the big dog, passed by. Say the line. I forgot what I was going to say. The line's content.
Say a line for us.
Yeah, you've really been living life intensely. The thing about you is already living a lot. Like, man, I think life is for us to really live. Yeah, so intensely. When we get to the moment of dying and we're lying in bed about to die, you say, man, I don't feel like I missed out on anything. I did everything. I lived. I traveled. Yeah, I met people. Yeah, I ended things. I started with someone new. I broke down. I got back up, That's what I think is important, in life, for us to have lived and not get to our deathbed thinking, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't take my grandfather on a trip,
You seem like the same guy I interviewed several times in Brazil, and it's clear you're happy here. You don't think about returning to Brazil. Life is good, and you've become American. Do you have your papers, or are you still watching for ICE?
No. I've had my papers since 2021, going into 2022.
And about getting legal status, no.
Actually, I'm even being lazy. Because since last year, I could have applied for citizenship and gotten the American passport and everything. But man, it's just this rush with the Club World Cup coming. Then the end of the year, which is always busy. It's crazy with the car. Then comes the World Cup. And then I think I have to stop and study for about 2 months to take the citizenship test. Yeah, but I could have already done it. But by the end of the year, I'll take this test. Maradona. No, there's no way, man. Actually, it's like I told you, I live in the Rio de Janeiro of America. So I go take a little 2-hour flight and head over to New York. Actually, between the semifinal and the final, I'm setting up a talk there and everything. So, man, I'm going to New York. I'm going here. I live in a country where the currency is strong, I earn money here, and if I want to go to Europe, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, if I go to Brazil, obviously the currency, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I live in a country where we have safety. We can use our phones without worry here. You can buy your watch, your stuff, and walk around. Yeah, man, you can buy cars. Like today, I have 35 cars. All mine, some paid off and some not.
You need that.
Man, you need it.
Mickey's partner, he's always there at the...
All the time in Orlando. I usually buy cars in Orlando where I have company partnerships and have purchased many cars, so they give me...
I think that's bad for this simple guy.
Man, thank God we live, we die, everything stays here, brother. We're going out to eat later. Let's meet at a beach, anywhere, man. When someone gets sick, everyone else does too. It's unavoidable.
Let me ask you about the World Cup. What do you think of the American fans in the stadium? I haven't experienced the atmosphere yet. And Brazil, right? They struggled against Japan, but they made it through, huh? Now they're going to face them, bro.
No, calm down. Let's break it down. Brazil played very poorly in the first game.
Very slowly. Well,
really in reverse. Then they started to get out of reverse. All right. Then the second game and all, Haiti is also physical. I already expected that. All right. Yeah, then comes the third game. It was already better. Yeah, this last game now against Japan, I couldn't really watch the first half. I only saw a bit of it.
You didn't miss anything.
Bro, that was the Brazil at its worst.
Wow, that was part of it.
And better. I only caught the second half. I even placed a bet yesterday. I was at the mechanics.
I was there changing the car battery.
The car was at my employee's house. My cousin and the employee went to get it. I was supposed to pick up the Corolla, which I had to leave. I don't even remember for whom now. I forget everything. If I don't check the thing you're on, the one the secretary sends, I'm screwed. So, man, I went to get the car, but it was stalling, so I had to rent it to a friend of Malcolm who plays for Al Hilal. So, man, then I went with my wife. I said, help me out here. So we went with the car. I picked it up, and then I took it straight to the mechanic, and they were watching the game, Brazil's game. I said, Lila, change the battery while I watch the game. So I stayed with her watching. My mechanic is Latino, but since he knows I'm Brazilian, I joke with him. So, man, I like to watch it like that. Obviously, I'd rather be sitting somewhere with some air conditioning watching it. I don't know, since, man, the money has to keep coming in all the time. Keep moving, stop anywhere. My wife understands that. It's simple, too. She's my partner, too.
She closes the snack shop. The workshop continues.
Man, okay, go. We're in the fight.
What you saw you already liked. Do you think Brazil is evolving for you?
Brazil, yes, I think it's evolving a lot.
Is Ancelotti the right person there?
Man, he didn't have much time before. Now he's been with Brazil for quite a while. I think that obviously the strength of a guy who's a winner, you can spot a winner from afar. He manages to pass on that strength of his. Yeah, like the friendlies were really bad before the qualifiers. The qualifying games he was still in charge of were really, really bad. But man, we have to give it time, right? We have to give this guy a chance. He can't just take the first card and think that with those first two cards he gets, he's going to be able to solve everything, right? So you let the guy go through it, experience it, figure it out. And then we've made a lot of progress from the first game to this fourth game already. Yeah, for me, it's a really good improvement. We had some players like Bruno Guimaraes in the first game who didn't play well, but now he's in sync and performing great. Bruno Guimaraes is playing great. Danilo, who didn't even play in the first game and wasn't doing well before, right? Well, let's go. Danilo wasn't doing well when he was called up and played as a fullback. He wasn't doing well. Then later, he wasn't called up. Later, he got called up because he was Ancelotti's trusted man. All right, he was a substitute at fullback, at center back, fullback, anyway. He was a substitute in any position. Then he had to come in as a fullback. Man, he's playing way better than he was before.
When he was called up, that's a bit of the coach's influence that helps the guys grow, right? Gives them confidence.
In my opinion, when I was watching the games where Danilo was starting as right back, Danilo, he didn't really play as a fullback. We say he didn't go down the flank. He used to only cross slightly past midfield and stop, but now he makes many overlapping runs. He's also doing well defensively since he already defends very well. When he was at Santos, I liked him as a fullback making forward runs because he was strong. Yeah, in Brazil, he hadn't been doing that lately. He's older now. But in the World Cup, he's making overlapping runs again. Yesterday, he surged forward and got fouled. He's performing really well. So I think these players obviously also give the team more substance, you know?
We're reaching the final stretch of our Fute Papo. And now, another message, because soon we'll have the Fute Papo challenge here. Quick break from the chat with Lenny so we can talk about Minimo. Minimo is a supporter of our Fute Papo channel, and after all, they have the best t-shirts. The best t-shirt in Brazil is at Minimo, Marcelo Esmirgo, and do you know why?
Hands down, comfort, fit, and technology. It's that shirt you can put on and wherever you go, you stand out.
What sets it apart is that they're made from Egyptian cotton. And in practice, that means the shirt lasts much longer. It doesn't shrink, it doesn't fade. In other words, it's premium quality. Marcelo Esmirgo. Yeah, and besides that, the fit is designed to flatter the male physique. It's easy to get your Minimo t-shirt. The QR code will appear on the screen. You scan the QR code, use the coupon FUTEPAPO to get 22 off on this kit with 4 Minimo Club t-shirts. Let's return to the chat. Before the Fute Papo challenge, let's predict Brazil versus Norway.
Mr. Vai.
Going up, Holland's on the other side, right?
Yeah, but one swallow doesn't make a summer, right? There's also Odegaard and so on. But still, you can't compare Brazil with a country like Norway. Obviously, like we've seen in this World Cup, you can't compare Norway from 20 years ago to today. You can't compare South Africa from 20 years ago to today, or Morocco. National teams have changed, even Japan, that's true, 20 years ago. Even with Korea. I'm old too, I remember that. South Korea in 2002, man, did really well. They made it to the semifinals. So, like, we've evolved a lot. Because usually, for example, Asian players used to play mostly in Asia. I played in Japan, Korea, and Thailand. So anyway, but today, this Japanese team had 23 players all in Europe. Exactly, in Europe. So that's the thing about Norway. Man, you're going to have some players who play for mid-level clubs in Europe. And there are one or two who play for big clubs, right? Like Odegaard, like Haaland. Yeah, but obviously you have to stay alert. You have to go into every game focused. You see, Paraguay knocked out Germany. Morocco knocked out the Netherlands. The Netherlands is also just surviving on their name, right? Because they also have a name, right? The Clockwork Orange and all that. But, you know, there are many World Cups where they don't have a great tournament. But anyway, you see that Morocco did really well in the last World Cup. In this one, Mali is also doing well. So, obviously, you have to stay focused. But Brazil has been improving a lot, so I think we don't need to worry too much about the score, right?
It's good to hear from someone who played professionally. It's always good to hear that.
Man, I'm going with a more relaxed prediction. I'll say 2-0, 2-0 easy, especially because the quarterfinals will be in Miami. So I'll come back here, right? I'll stick with 2-0 exactly. Yeah, coming back 2-0 here, 2-0.
Especially because the quarterfinals will be in Miami, yeah.
The third game was against Scotland, right? It was here in Miami. Man, I'm crazy about cars. I rented everything.
So I was left thinking,
That's it.
He wants to watch the game. I don't know. I only cared about money, Dad. I wanted to know about money in this little pocket here. The game is not, but consequence. Man, you even said something that reminded me of something here. Yeah, I went to buy this car with love, and I had first stopped by a regular dealership, you know, one of those American dealerships and all. And then, all right, the guy helped me there, a Cuban American, all right. The finance guy there was American. And then I was signing the papers for him and all, you know. Then he asked, do you live in Miami? I said, yes and all. Then I thought, let me ask this guy something. I said, did you know there's a World Cup going on? Then he was like, what? Please, World Cup.
The people are there.
I heard something about that is going on. Man, I have no idea, bro. I have no idea. No, it's from Miami. Port Charlotte is about 300 kilometers from here.
There are sports more popular than soccer here, right? Is it American football or basketball?
Yeah, it's like American football and basketball, but you know, Americans are really into baseball too. But like that's what I've been reading. In Miami, you see that it's pretty much all Spanish. It's very Latino, you know. All right. But then when you leave Miami and go to places like Port Charlotte, like let me see, other places like Jacksonville, Daytona, then you'll see more Americans. So real Americans, man, forget about soccer. They don't even know what it is. Soccer, they don't know. They really don't. They have no idea. They just don't know.
raise your hand.
Man, it's pretty crazy. But anyway, but like he didn't even know about the World Cup, man. Like he lives 300 kilometers from here, from Miami, you know, and being 300 kilometers from Miami with no games in Orlando. Okay, fine. But like the guy has no idea at all.
Wild. Orlando is just Mickey, theme parks, and a totally different vibe.
Right? Yeah, no.
Now they have Kaka's team there, right, in Orlando?
Yeah, no, it's been a while. Orlando City here in Miami, which grew a lot after Inter Miami, actually. I live right next to the stadium.
At the new stadium, we went there.
I live really close by, really close, because it works well for me logistically. I'm near the airport. I live really close to the airport.
The Marcelo Esmirgo series presents the Feud Challenge, and the man won't stay neutral. The Feud Challenge is this: who played better, Diego Souza or Valdivia? No dodging.
Yeah, look, I'm going with Bola. It's Bola. No, it's not Bola. It's Bola. Around 2008, when Valdivia played and we won the Paulista Championship, I never saw anyone play as well as him while playing alongside him. But during that period, he was really a star, really a star. But Diego Souza, man, Diego Souza played at a high level for over 20 years. So, and he's also more of my buddy.
So Diego Souza was that tough player. He was always up for it. Barbecue, beer, and soccer, and rough play and soccer.
And quality, all of that. And he kept working at it.
Impressive. And his career went as far as he could be playing at that moment.
And as a number 9,
As a number 10, he started as a defensive midfielder. He was a defensive midfielder, a playmaker hunter, and became a number 9. And fat. I met him here once and said, brother, it seems I'm the one playing and you're the player. He was in his prime. Anyway, so Diego Souza goes, obviously, because he's awesome. He's my big buddy. He's over there in Orlando, always hanging out with me, no matter what. I've even crashed at his place. Here, Segura, right? No, big buddy. We played together. I've known him since the Fluminense Youth Academy, right? Because he's from there.
Was he already a little monster in the youth academy? Was he already?
Yeah, but he was a defensive midfielder. When someone plays up front, Malbem gets more attention. But he started as a defensive midfielder. He played with Marcão at Fluminense, with Radomir. That group moved up. I mean, Marcão in the professional team. So the position he played that role. Soon after, at Palmeiras, he was already an attacking midfielder. He was, like Valdivia. At Grêmio, he went to the national team as a number 9. As a number 9, man. As a number 9, it makes sense.
And a good guy in the locker room. He always treated the press well. I like him a lot, too.
I wanted, dear friends, this wonderful international chat straight from Miami with Lenny. Thank you for the support.
Thank you, okay? And damn, we rented that little car over there, man. Lenny will tell you about it.
Let's renew this car now. Let's solve this now.
They pick you up at the airport and drive you home.
Change the battery. Lenny takes you there, drops you off at the departure gate, gives you a kiss and everything. What's that?
This was another Feud Papo at the World Cup in the United States. Live from Miami with this star. See you next time. Bye.
Thanks.
Se informa.